Hello, Dr. Jennifer Clemens. Thanks for tuning in. Continuing educational efforts here. This is not meant to be medical advice. This is not designed to treat or diagnose. This is meant to engage your curiosity, to help educate. I believe that educating can help reduce fear of the unknown. And I feel it's really important as a doctor to put the information in your hands. The root of the word docere is to teach. I take it very seriously. We work better if we collaborate together, and that means you need to be educated and you need to understand and ask good questions. And please, I try to give my sources and resources here. Feel free to look things up, ask questions, confer with your medical doctor. It's very important. Right now, wanting to talk about inflammation. I led up to a little bit in the viruses part 2. I often tell my patients inflammation is the root of all evil. Whether we're talking about diabetes, if we're talking about prevention and reduction of risk of Alzheimer's. Inflammation can simply be irritability. It can also be damage in a joint, damage in the vessels. And so reducing inflammation, many ways, animals are a good way, can help us be healthier overall. Now, this COVID virus has a couple techniques, strategies, ways that it increases inflammation in the body. So it's important to understand about inflammation through that disease process, but I even want to talk about it in terms of prevention. The virus, as I mentioned in the last episode, can dock on those ACE2 receptor sites. Those can be increased in inflammation, and also people that have chronic inflammatory diseases maybe on medications that also increase those receptors. That is putting us at greater risk, the United States as a whole. And unfortunately, I predict that we will see the highest rates of death in populations and in communities that have higher risks of inflammation, diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, hypertension, the diseases of our day, basically. The CDC says 6 out of 10 Americans have a chronic inflammatory disease, chronic disease, and chronic disease most often goes with inflammation. So I'll make an inference there, but it's really important for us to understand. Okay, so now you're worried. So what can you do about it? There's a number of very tangible, easy steps, the same steps I've been telling you, and hopefully your doctor's been telling you. So getting good sleep, and if you need help with sleep, consult a medical professional about how to get to the root of the issue. It's not just medicating for sleep. It's addressing why are we waking. I could do a whole talk just on sleep. Maybe I'll do that. Adequate hydration, clean filtered water, getting enough water in will reduce inflammation. It washes out the waste products out of the tissues, out of the cells. You can play with making it more interesting. Add some lemon, add some herbal tea, different things like that. Remember, caffeine, soda, alcohol are diuretics. They reduce the water, so you have to drink more water to counteract those. Or I could make an argument here in our efforts to reduce inflammation that we need to cut back on the caffeine, the coffee, the stimulants, the alcohol, the soda. They are not helping us. So just eliminating many of those things. I tell my patients less garbage in helps more garbage out of the cells of the body. So those are some really tangible steps, ways to reduce inflammation. The lungs are specifically targeted by this COVID disease. So smoking is inflammatory and it's damaging the lungs and it's interfering with the mucociliary elevator that would help clear things out of the lungs. So as a doctor friend of mine joked, bomber for the people you're stuck at home with, but if possible now is really important time to stop smoking and reduce that lung risk and inflammatory risk. Other important reminders, organic, non-GMO food. Okay, the GMO, the glycophosphate, the corn, those are inflammatory. They irritate the gut. It makes us more vulnerable and more susceptible and more irritable. When our gut is irritable, we're irritable. Again, a whole other episode and talk that I could do about the importance of gut health. Lots of vegetables. I think I put it in every newsletter. The rainbow of vegetables. I'm thinking of doing a cooking class. Let me know if you'd be interested. How can we make vegetables taste good? Roast cauliflower. My kids eat it up. It's so simple, very tangible. These are things we can do. It takes changing habits. It takes a little bit of bravery and recognizing the problem. So it is my hope here that I can get you alert, get you concerned, get you curious. How can I reduce inflammation in my life? Closing reminder, and this is one I think I've said every time: fear, worry, anxiety, these things increase IL-6. That's one of the cytokines specifically COVID increases. So that's kind of a double whammy. It means when we're sick with COVID, we may feel more anxious, or sick with flu. It can also make us feel more anxious, more irritable, but being more anxious is also a feed forward on the inflammatory process. And so there are many, many wonderful resources available online right now. Spirit Rock is a local one here that's doing online meditation practice. I think Headspace is doing a free trial that you can do right now. Patients often say, I'm terrible at meditating. I say, me too. It's just practicing, it's trying, it's taking the time. If you're in my newsletter series, I did a wonderful recording with my friend Crystal Dawn, love coach Crystal Dawn, about some Hendricks and Hendricks techniques for reducing anxiety, little steps that we can do. There are tangible things. It takes practice. One of the simplest ones you could do right now, we're all stuck at home: write a love letter to your mom or to a friend or someone you miss. That reduces our inflammation, that gratitude, that tuning in on that love, and then we get to send it to them and we get to help their immune system as well. Okay, stay tuned for more.